Final event, race 10. Malletier, jumps favourite. Stand by for a start. Light blinking Reardon back aboard Prawns 11. They're about to go at the 1200 metre mark. They stand pretty well. He holds them up. Light continuing to flash. Not happy with something up there inside the gates anyway at the moment, because they're all in. And the light remaining on there, just blinking merrily away. They're off now though, and it was a great start, a perfect line when he said go. And one of the first to leave, Nobility, Rolling Ruler, Prawns 11 striding forward for Reardon soon after the start, coming over Snow God in front of Playing Rio. In behind them came Pond Master, Snippy Witch, Malletier. Back behind those, second from last and 2 lengths, Hell I Am. They sorted themselves out by the 700. Prawns 11 worked its way to the lead. Snow God was able to stride over. Sits up there travelling second. Nobility down on the inside from Playing Rio. Rolling Rulers there with those. A length and a half, Malletier. On the rails to Pond Master between them. Coming towards the home turn, Snippy Witch and Hell I Am a clear last. At the 400 metre mark and around the turn, Prawns 11 given its head by Reardon. Kicks 2 in front of Snow God. Nobility down on the inside. Then Rolling Ruler starting to run on, and so's Malletier coming down the middle. At the 200 mark, Prawns 11 running around Rolling Ruler. Snippy Witch is getting right through the middle and wider out Malletier. Malletier, Snippy Witch, Malletier. Malletier on the outside with its head in front. Malletier narrowly from Snippy Witch. Back behind them, third Rolling Ruler from Pond Master. Then Snow God. Next home, Prawns 11. Nobility had dropped out, beat a couple to the line, Hell I Am, and also back there pulling up a long last, Playing Rio. Number 8, Malletier, Chris Parnham will win the last event of the day. The favourite saluting. Snippy Witch bursting through in the centre. They've broken 110. It's 109.99. And Malletier gets home to score. Luke Fernie coming up with a double here this afternoon. Got on the board nice and early this afternoon. The stable. And has rounded out the meeting with this winner in the final event, Malletier, beating home Snippy Witch, Rolling Ruler and Pond Master. The number's 8471, and it will be a short neck and 2 lengths. A short neck by 2 lengths there. The margins to the last event of the day. So that wraps it up here from Ascot, this very entertaining day of racing. And the last with Malletier saluting the judge by Nakoni from Vuitton for the Norland Park Thoroughbreds, MP Cam and Mrs. J.K. Baldwin. Chris Parnham in the saddle, home in 35.21, beating Snippy Witch by Snippet Son. Holly Knottle for the Durant Stable. Rolling Ruler by Universal Ruler. Jason Whiting for Bruce Watkins. 8471 as we take you downstairs now with Lockie joining us and winning trainer Luke Fernie, who's back there in the enclosure.
Thanks, Darren. Nice way to finish the day for the Luke Fernie stable as Luke joins me now. Luke, congratulations on the win. Back-to-back wins now, and he's starting to really put it all together. He's a nice horse moving forward.
Yeah, he's a beautiful horse, and it looked like he was idling and then seen the horse on the inside and thought I'd better have a dip again, and thankfully he did. He had to do it the tradesman's way again. Last start he had to take off around slow horses stopping on top of him, and today he had a slow one stop on top of him at the 600 and probably 400 make a sustained run. So good effort, nice horse, and he's going to go a long way.
He's still a lightly raced horse as well. Today was only his 10th career start. Could he have a similar career progression to, say, a Storm Chaser, who you've obviously had a lot to do with as well?
Hopefully he doesn't stop as slow as what Storm Chaser has been lately, and we can keep him up a bit longer. But he works like a proper horse, and it's good to be able to sort of take him through his grades. I've been fortunate enough. They've given me free rein to place him where I feel need, and hopefully we can go forward from that and go through his ratings.
Is that still the plan for him, to just place him patiently to go through the grades? Could he be a horse that potentially gets out to 1400 in starts to come?
I'll see what Chris has to say. He relaxes well. He's got a beautiful temperament, and he was only over the short courses in Melbourne, so we'll see what the rider's feedback is. We're sort of doing everything pretty comfortably where we're at the moment, so don't change what's not broken.
Things didn't quite go to plan for the stable earlier on this afternoon. Talk us through your method to get over what was a disappointing start to the day. I believe you left the course.
Yeah, toys are well and truly out of the cot. I went home and debriefed and pulled my head back in, but I said to the team this morning, if everything went to shit before the last, we had this one to come good with, and thankfully he's come good with the goods.
What did you order from Grilled to make things a little bit easier?
Yeah, I had to get a nice burger in the gut to keep me going, so thankfully that'll keep me up and about tonight.
Well done here.
Thanks, mate.
There's Luke Fernie after the win of Malletier, winning the last of the day. I didn't know if we were going to get it out of him. He spoke to us pre-race, Riley, and spoke about the fact that he went home, ordered some grilled, and he came back a happier man. And he needed to come back a happier man because he wasn't too happy with the way his horse was performing earlier on this afternoon.
No, I could see the steam coming out of his ears a little bit earlier this afternoon, Locke. And sometimes, Locke, when things aren't going to plan, you just need a little moment to reset and you can come good before you know it. And that's exactly what has transpired here in the last Malletier, getting the job done. And as you made mention of, Locke, he's still very lightly raced and looks as though there's only more improvement to come once they get some more racing under his belt. Exactly
right. Really nice win there. Back-to-back wins, and his first up run over the 1,000-metre journey behind Tycoon Harry had a great deal of merit when he came from well back in the field. So it looks like Luke Fernie and his connections are going to have plenty of fun with this lightly raced 4-year-old by Nakoni. He's really putting it all together now, and he looks like he's a horse that can well and truly go through the grades, as Luke and Riley have mentioned. But Chris Parnham makes things official with Stewards, and here he is catching up with Riley after winning the last.
Thanks, Lockie. Yes, we'll round out the day with a quick word from Chris Parnham on the win of Malletier. Chris, you gave him a pretty good steer from where he was drawn, 3 deep with a bit of cover, and you were on them on the corner, but he did take a little bit of urging to get there late in the race.
Yeah, I was pretty happy in the run from where we landed from the draw, but just sort of getting towards the 500, I was a little bit concerned because the one I was following wasn't taking me anywhere, and sort of had to make a wide run, but he was good enough to overcome it.
Had to deal with a little bit of a bump, it looked as though, in the straight there as well, and might have just switched off a little bit late in the race, but he did fight back once he saw that horse to his inside.
Yeah, he kept coming. He had every opportunity to throw it away because he sort of had to make a sustained run around him, which isn't easy to do, so thought he toughed it out good to put his neck out when he needed to.
He's still pretty lightly raced, and Luke touched upon the fact that he was interested in getting your thoughts on whether or not he might get out a bit further than 1,200 metres. Does he give you that sort of a feel that he can keep progressing and potentially get out over a bit further in time?
Yeah, I don't see why not. He runs through the line really well. He relaxes in his races, and he gives you every indication he's a big, strong horse that he'll run out 14. Now he's had a few runs under his belt. I'm sure that could be an option for him going forward.
I'll let you go have a chat to the big man. Well done, the win.
Cheers.
There's Chris Parnham. He combines with Luke Fernie to take out the last of the day, the off-the-track WA Handicap. Let's debrief what has been a wonderful day of racing here at Ascot, Riley. Let's start with the Rock Magic Stakes. It was a very tight clash between Oscar's Fortune and Repossession, but a terrific training performance from Dion Luciani to see Oscar's Fortune back in the winner's circle for the first time in over 700 days.
Absolutely, and we saw the best of him last preparation as well, Lockie. They've done a terrific job to get him back to his best off the back of that Melbourne campaign, where we probably didn't see him operating at his absolute optimum for whatever reason, but he's back to his best now that he's in Dion's care. He was able to get the job done here today over the 1,000 metres, and I think he's one that's not only going to improve for having that run under the belt, but he'll continue to improve once they stretch out over a little bit further. They get over 1,100 and 1,200. I think now that he's got that win on the board and he's shown that he's come back the same horse that left the carnival, I think there's going to be a few phone calls being made looking ahead towards the Quokka.
Oren Bell, what a win in the Supremacy Stakes. Is she just about the #1 seed now for the Karrakatta Plate?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, Lockie, absolutely. She's going to be very hard to beat heading towards that race. We'll see her in the gym crack in a fortnight's time as well, so I'm really excited to see what she can continue to produce. And a pretty ominous sign, you caught up with Neville Parnham post-race, and he only said that there's more improvement to come with her and that they absolutely haven't got to the bottom of her yet, so very excited to see what she can continue to produce as she gets a little bit deeper into her initial campaign.
2 wins now at the 1,000. If you're concerned about her running 11 or 1,200 metres, don't be, because
No.
Neville Parnham is so confident that she could even improve as she gets out over 11 and 1,200 metres. And then Bonjoy taking out the Grandstand Cup outstanding performance, and it just makes you think what could have been if she was at her best throughout the summer carnival. What could she have done if she was to qualify in a railway stakes? We'll never know, but if Jason Miller can have her in the right place at the right time later this year, I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do.
And that's it, Lockie. Fingers crossed that they can have her in the right place at the right time once we get a few more months down the track and we get back to carnival time, because I don't think we saw the best, the most dynamic version of Bonjoy in her runs over the carnival. She still by no means was disgraced whatsoever. She was only a length or two adrift of the best gallopers and best horse flesh that we have to offer here in WA, but she just wasn't letting down like we know that she can and like she has in her 2 runs back this preparation. She's back to her best. It's great to see, and she's just got this unbelievable will to win, which we all really admire.
And it was great to see young Natika Reardon have her first success on a Saturday. She's been riding so many winners in the provincial area. Gets her ticket last week with a double in the Northern Territory, and she gets the job done here this afternoon aboard Kenny Kev.
Yes, she'll be very much sought after, you would think, Lockie, over the next few weeks. And as you mentioned, she's been dominating on the country and provincial circuit in recent months, Natika, and she was able to go over there and strut her stuff in the Northern Territory and boot home a double on that Sunday program. And now that she's back here, she's on the board already very early into her Saturday career. I think she's going to be riding plenty more winners, and that 3 kilo claim not going to last very long.
Now, Riley, we'll be back on your TV screens tomorrow afternoon at Pinjarra Park for the 10 race program. Is there anything you like nice and early, 24 hours out?
I do like a couple on that program at Pinjarra tomorrow, Lockie, but we do have to be patient as my best bet comes up in the final of 10 races on that card there tomorrow. I think Sign Deal is going to be very hard to beat for Michael Lane. I love the run last start behind Defending. Was a little bit unlucky as well. Didn't get clear until very late in that race, and I think with clear galloping room, he's going to be going very close tomorrow. And I'm hoping a good story to emerge out of racing there at Pinjarra tomorrow is one for Chad Capehorn, who's only got the one runner. It's the first runner that he's ever trained in King Brew. He's been outstanding in both of his runs in his career to date, and I think he's found a very winnable assignment there in maiden company tomorrow. So King Brew and Sign Deal, the two that I'm keeping my eye on heading towards that program there tomorrow.
Well, I'm looking forward to joining you on Racing WA TV and racing.com for tomorrow's 10 race card out of Pinjarra Park. But it has been a huge day of racing here at Ascot. Our autumn carnival is just kick-starting. The Quokka and Karrakatta play only 4 weeks away. But that's all we have time for here on racing.com. So it's good night from Riley and I.